Okay. Are we live? I already see that connection. Yep, beautiful. Oh boy. Today has been quite the day today, I have to say. What's up, Imprudent Dev? I am so pumped for this mod. I have heard a lot about it from Zach already. Onyx, how you doing? So yeah, I have been warned about what this mod has in store for us. Don't know what it is? Well, let me fill you in. In fact, the description has the full premise. But this is a Monika mod. A Monika mod that actually made it to full release. Which is an achievement in itself these days. But moreover, this is a mod that's got a very strong emotional punch, according to my man Zach. He says this mod literally broke him. And I played the demo for this back when there was a demo available. I'm pretty sure the demo still is available, but I played the demo a while back, and I don't remember much about it since I've played a lot of mods since then, but I remember really enjoying it. But yeah, well, what he told me is that any Monika lover watching this should beware, and I'm going to have to censor some of this in Act 2. And I will leave you to speculate on why if you have not played it. What's the synopsis? I will read it to you from the Reddit page, but I have the synopsis pasted directly from the Reddit page in the description. Upon joining the literature club, you start to gradually reconnect with your old high school crush, the school's resident idol, Monika. However, the closer the pair of you get, the more you realize that not only do you have more in common than you realized, but the perception of Monika being the perfect student couldn't be further from the truth. Can you uncover what is hidden within her heart? And it boasts a runtime of about 12 hours. So, it's gonna be a long one. Oh, look at that. No wonder it did not bother asking me about anything. No wonder it didn't bother giving me, like, anything before the menu screen. Because it's using my saves from another mod. From late November of 2021. What mod was I playing a year ago? I'm gonna look this up before I start sending out links. Now, can I sort these by date? Or no, wait. What am I doing? Just go to the live tab. I'm still getting used to how YouTube has changed things again. Okay. Because I'm wondering if this is using the same spot, or the same save slot as the original demo for this mod. I'm trying to remember which one this was. Yeah, it looks like the mods I was playing at the time were Salvation, Lost Ascension, Longer Roads, could have been Relapse. Or it could have been from the demos stream here. I'm thinking it can't be that, though. No, it was not that one. Okay. Alright, well... Relapse is the only one that's barely made me cry. Oh, I see Zach has joined the chat before we actually start on the mod. And Imprudent Dev, you're working on a Monika mod when you're not working on Isolation. That's very cool, mate. I was not aware you were working on such a project. That's awesome to hear, mate. Yep, that's a mod that I still need to play. I have not played Fallen Angel yet. It's another one that is on my ever-growing to-do list of mods to play. I wish I could keep up more with all of the mods that are coming out. Media doesn't really elicit much emotion from me. Yeah, I have a pretty strong emotional resolve. The mod is called My Diary, Life in the Void. Dude, now that you mention it, I think I've actually seen the tab for that on the Team Just Monika server, now that you bring it up. So, that's on me. Can't believe I forgot about that. Yeah, I'm very interested to see what you do with it, mate. Also, can we talk about how good this menu music is? Dude, this piano music. I know, I told you already, Zach. I'm telling everybody who hasn't heard it yet in chat here. So, I guess while now I'm sending out links, I guess I will talk about what I found out about my car today. Because good lord, what I learned about my car today. So, I have talked about it a bit with Bradley and Caleb already, but for those of you who aren't familiar with my car situation goes back about 6 months. So just get ready for this. I'm gonna take you on a trip while I talk about this story. So, about 6 months ago, the end of May, I had made an appointment to have my car dropped off because there was something going on, and I wasn't entirely sure what it was. So, since I had a warranty with the dealership that I bought the car from, and the problem could potentially be covered under that, I was like, well, I might as well use my warranty. So I brought it up to them, and they told me they would get back to me with their diagnosis as soon as they could. And I figured, okay, maybe I gotta wait like a couple days here. I'll just keep my phone on me. So I did that, and about 8 days later, I finally get a call from them saying, yeah, hey, there was an air coolant leak in your engine, and the engine is fucked. We need to replace it. So I was like, well, shit. So we found out how long that was going to take. They were saying could take up to 7 months due to how hard to find stuff like that is right now. And I mean, well, they're the ones in the business. So I'm like, well, shit. And the part that makes this even shittier is that they said they did not have a loaner car to give me because they had sold off all of their loaner cars. Now, a normal person might just explode on them at this point, but as you may know, I am not your average person. So I worked something out with my grandma, because she's got 2 cars. She has a very new car that she loves driving, but she doesn't like using it to make like compost runs and stuff from where she lives. Yeah, trust me, mate, it gets even worse. Just you wait. We're still at the beginning of this story. We're gonna find out tonight, Ami. We're gonna find out just how much was changed from demo to full release. But yeah, it gets better, mate, so let me recollect my train of thought here. So, they didn't have a loaner car to give me. And now, like I said, a normal person might say, might just flip their shit at this point and demand a loaner car from them, but I decided to play their stupid game. So I worked something out with my grandma. And like I said, she's got, a brand new car that has under 25,000 miles on it. She loves driving it. But she doesn't like to use it for stuff like, again, compost runs and stuff. Like I said, stuff that would get, the bottom of, the trunk of her car all dirty and shit. She doesn't want to do that to her new car. So she's got an older car, the car that she used to have, just around to do stuff like that and for driving during the winter. So yeah, fair enough. She can do what she wants. She's retired. So yeah, I worked something out with her where I could borrow that car. And that's what I've been driving for the last 6 months while I have been waiting to hear back from this dealership. And guess what? The months continued to pass, and I heard nary a peep from this dealership. Not a word. The only time we had any communication with them is when my folks went down to them to try and get anything useful out of them, which, to my knowledge, they never did. So, that brings us to last week, when I got a text from somebody up there that is, by their own admission, fairly new up there in what I learned today. But what they told me is that, hey, you've got some equity in your car, why don't you consider trading up to a newer car and using that to help pay for it? I read that, and let me tell you, I have never had a stronger urge to punch something in a long time after reading that text. Because that is not what I wanted to hear after 6 fucking months of waiting. So I just didn't say anything to the guy, and instead went to my folks about this. Because I'm like, hey, fuck that shit. I am not trading up. Sounds like your average old man rant. Yeah, well, I'm getting to the spicy part that I just found out today. Because that's where it really gets interesting. What I learned today. Like, fuck me, dude. This is where it actually gets fucking spicy. So, today, that brings us to present day, where my mother, the co-signer on the car, reached out to this guy that texted me last week and got some pretty useful info out of this man. So what I learned today is that not only there's a lot that I learned today about this whole situation. 20 minutes in and we haven't seen anything. I apologize that it's taken me a while to send out links. I'm just really invested in this after everything I've been through with this car situation. So yeah, what I learned today is that not only is the information that they told me about the air coolant engine leak a complete fucking lie, but they shipped the car to another dealership that specializes in Buicks, because they're a Ford dealership, without informing me or anyone else that is signed on the car that this was done. So yeah, one, they were completely fucking wrong about they were completely fucking wrong about what they told me. 2, they shipped it to another dealership without notifying us whatsoever. 3, they didn't tell the dealership they sent it to a damn thing about who owns the car. It's been at that dealership since September. And 5, the thing has been fixed since fucking September. Meaning this car has been ready to go for over a fucking month. And this dealership would not tell a fucking word to the guys they sent the car to about who actually owns it. If it was not for this rogue new employee who was able to tell us all of this, it would still be sitting at that fucking dealership. So, what we have reached is that this guy, the head of their sales department, is going to take the bill to this bum-ass dealership that tried to screw me over and force them to pay for it. And not only that, but this man, this Chad, is going to personally deliver my fucking car to the house. This head of sales deserves a fucking raise. Complete fucking Chad. He is getting a healthy fucking tip tomorrow. Because holy shit, what a perfect bow to put on top of this shitty situation that I have been in for the last half of a year. And let me tell you, next time I drive by that bum-ass dealership that tried to screw me over, they are just going to hear it. Because believe me, I am tempted to just drive up there in that thing and just blare on the fucking horn in front of their building for like a solid minute. Just one last fuck you to these people. Anyway, I am now done sending out links. I'm not sure what mod these saves are from, because I've never played the full version of this. Yeah. Just, my god, what a beautiful resolution to this shit. Anyway, so, if you weren't here at the start, check the description if you want the premise and the link to the Reddit page so you can get the mods yourself. But yeah, let's just take in this moment, everybody. We are playing a Monika mod that made it to full release. As a reminder, we left off on the kiss scene. I see. I'd rather just play it from the start, personally, because I don't remember pretty much anything that happened in this mod. And I want to experience it again. Well, Apples, welcome to the stream, and 2, I think you're in for a treat tonight, because I have been hearing a lot of good things about Within. Been hearing a lot of good things. Also, if you're wondering why my skip function is available, it's because it is reading data from a previous mod that I've played. If anybody wants to date check my older streams to find out what saves these are from, I would love to know. Obviously a multi-parter, otherwise I wouldn't have more than one save. I don't know if those were from the original demo, or if those were from a different mod, so I guess we'll find out. It's a regular Tuesday morning, like any other. Nothing too exciting, but nothing entirely boring either. It's just the basic run-of-the-mill school run. As usual, I'm waiting for Sayori, my neighbor and childhood best friend. She's the kind of person you couldn't imagine making friends with on day one. But I guess it works, since we've known each other basically all our lives. Yep, those kinds of friendships just tend to work. Also, another thing I want to say, we have Scroll Wheel. It has been a while since I have played a mod where we have Scroll Wheel functionality to scroll back text. I'm all for it. In a way, she's like the little sister I never had, despite her being a whole 2 months older than me. Really, I didn't know that about Sayori. Apparently Sayori is older than our boy here. Oh, it absolutely is. I love Scroll Wheel. I look at the clock on my phone. Come on, Sayori. We'll be late at this rate. Yes, Zach has warned me about this mod. I put those warnings in the Discord server. But yeah. In case you weren't here at the beginning of stream, I'll reiterate again. If you are a diehard Monika lover, you are a hardcore simp for Monika, steel your fucking resolve. I grumbled to myself. Eventually, the door to her house opens, and out emerges Sayori. She's just finally getting her bag on, all while keeping a half-eaten slice of toast firmly locked in her jaw. I have not played either of those, but I know Amor Fati is one that I want to play at some point. I just don't know when. Sorry, I overslept again. Her voice is partially muffled by the toast. I just roll my eyes and give her a smirk. I figured. Hey! She finally takes the toast out of her mouth and speaks, her voice still slightly muffled due to her chewing. That mean, Ben. I'm kidding. Yeah, except for that one controversial part that gave the mod its reputation. I still want to play it in spite of that. Since we were young, it's always been easy to tease Sayori from time to time. She knows I'm joking, but her reactions are way too fun to pass up. Anyways, you coming? Well, yeah. We soon start the walk up to school. With every passing minute, the streets start getting flooded with students ranging from groups of friends, those on their own, and couples. Nah, never mind. With Sayori and I making small talk along the way, she then brings up something that's clearly been on her mind for a bit. Say, you've not joined a club yet, have you? Not yet, no. I scratch the back of my neck as my voice trails off. Admittedly, I'm not really looking for any clubs. I'd not really been looking, sorry. Things. We will find out together, we will find out together, Ami. We will find out together. None of the ones I'd seen so far really piqued my interest, and the one that I'd been remotely interested in, the music club, had been closed the previous school year due to a lack of funding. Yep. I hate to say it, but it's always the music clubs that go first. It's always the fucking music club that goes first, man. So disappointing. I then look over at Sayori, who seems to be remembering something. Well, maybe you could check out my club? That reminds me. Sayori recently told me that she was the vice president of the school's recently established literature club. That's crazy, mate. Whilst literature had never really taken my fancy, I do remember my English grades being decent at best. That, and as a budding musician, it helps to break down song lyrics to find the meanings behind each track. You know, I remember this part. I can understand this guy. This is a guy I can get behind. Kinda counts as poetry, right? Yep, like I said when I first played the demo, this is an MC I can get behind. The kind of man that loves to analyze music lyrics. I love that shit. It is so satisfying. I mean, I don't really have much else to do, so I guess I can stop by. Yay! Sayori lets out a cheery yawn, still half asleep, I guess. She then grumbles in a way that's still quite audible. I see you, Zach. I see you, Zach. I already told you earlier, mate. Have a good one before stream. I didn't expect you to still be up. Have a good night, mate. Get some sleep. She then grumbles in a way that's still quite audible. Good thing I asked Natsuki to make those cupcakes last night. Yeah, I'd said a good job. I would say good thing. I decided to play dumb, even though I clearly heard her. What was that? Nothing! She chuckles as we now stand outside the school gates. Anyways, see you later. Siri, wait! Before I could even finish, she's already become one with the bustling masses. I don't even know where the club is now! Knowing Siri, she'll realize that and let me know later though, so I can't complain too much. Use a comma there. Check my timetable to remind me of my first period. History, Mr. I. Serizawa. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I'm probably not. History. One of the few subjects I'm genuinely any good at. Time to get this day over with. The school day was about as ordinary as ever, and it's over as soon as it began. As I start packing my things, it hits me that I've not seen Sayori since this morning. She's gone to the club without me, hasn't she? By the time I get to the door, a familiar flash of peach-colored hair and a red bow catch my eye. Guess she remembered. She runs up and then holds her arms against the wall. Give me a second. She speaks between exaggerated breaths. You didn't need to run here, you know. But I forgot to tell you where the club is. My earlier guess was right, I suppose. Fair enough. I step into the corridor. Anyway, we going? Yeah! Sayori beams, seeming to fully recover from her breathlessness as we start to walk up. We soon find our way up to a section of the school that I rarely visit, besides for music class. Soon enough, though, we find our way to the club room. I wouldn't know, it's been too long since I've played the demo. That's why I'm playing this from the beginning. I have a peep through the window and can spot a purple-haired girl with a gentle yet intense expression that's focused on the book on her desk. I can also hear some partially muffled voices hinting at more members inside. Sayori swings the door open and bolts into the room. Yep, just... Guys, the new member is here! But I haven't even figured out if I like the club yet! Well... No time like the present, right? I timidly enter the room and wave as the club's other members look in my direction. The girl with the purple hair closes her book before getting up and walking towards me. I think I've seen her before in my science class. I could be wrong, though. I'm not known for my attention span in science, after all. I can say that about mine, but just in general. She speaks in a soft voice that matches her gentle expression. So, you're the Ben that Sayori was talking about? She always says nice things about you. A much shorter girl, with pink hair that's decorated with assorted red clips and ribbons comes up. Much like the other girl, I'm certain I've seen her in one of my classes. I just can't remember her name. Surely I'm not that bad with names, am I? Nah. You'll have to let me know if they did, because I wouldn't be able to tell you. But yeah, Onyx, I want to see an animation of that, where she just Sparta kicks down the door. That would be amazing. Seriously, Sayori, you brought a boy? Way to kill the mood. Natsuki. The other girl, apparently named Natsuki, relents and averts her gaze away from me. I'm also certain that this is the same Natsuki that Sayori said made some cupcakes. Her smaller stature makes me think she may be a first-year student. Sayori then gets closer to me and whispers, "Just ignore her when she gets moody." Yep, I like how they're reworking, like, the basic start of Act 1 from the base game here. I like the way they're doing this. She then bounces back as she steps towards the other girls. Anyway, this is Natsuki, energetic as usual. And this is Yuri, the smartest in the club. Yuri's face goes a bit red. Don't just say things like that. I can imagine someone like her has a bit of a struggle keeping up with people like Sayori and Natsuki. And of course, there's... Ben? A voice then calls out from behind me, causing me to turn around to meet a face I'd not seen that much since the second year of high school. Monika? My face adopts a small grin. She doesn't look like she's changed too much. Then again, I have seen her around the school every so often, but we did not had a class together since last school year. Back then, she was the most popular girl in the year, and I'm more than certain she still is. She's smart, beautiful, athletic. She's also someone way out of the league of a guy like me. To be honest, I did develop a sort of schoolboy crush on her during the time we shared at English class, but I never worked up the courage to ask her out. We did work on group projects a fair bit, though, so that would explain why she remembers the name. I haven't seen you in ages! How have you been? She smiles sweetly at me, still infectious as always. I've been good, just busy as usual. That reminds me. Monika, without a doubt, was the hardest working person I knew. Her grades were always either near the top or fully on the top of the class and exams. Yep, she's got that go-getter attitude about her. How about you, Ben? You know me. Same old, same old. Anyway, why don't you come sit down? She gestures over to an amalgamation of desks in the center of the room, formed to create a makeshift table. I also noticed that Natsuki and Yuri have gone to the back of the club room, presumably to get some other things. With a nod to Monika, I then make my way to sit next to Sayori, still feeling kind of shy. Monika eventually joins us. Whilst having the occasional chat with Sayori, I do catch her making the occasional glance over at me. Eventually, she starts to talk to me once again. So, what made you consider the club? I mean, I can't just lie to her. Well, Sayori mentioned it on the walk to school this morning, and I told her I'd check it out. I feel my face redden a little. So yeah, basically our boy here is taking a bit of a different approach to how this conversation went in the base game. It's a small change, but it's gonna have a big impact, I feel like. No need to get embarrassed. Monika eases any nerves I admittedly may have had. I promise we'll make you feel right at home, okay? Again, I find myself smiling at her. We then hear Natsuki's footsteps approaching. I turn and notice her holding a small plastic container. Must be the fabled cupcake Sayori was on about earlier. She then places the container on the table and rests her hand on the small lip on the edge of the lid. Okay, y'all ready? Her voice is lined with anticipation. After a collective nod, Natsuki practically rips the lid off, revealing a batch of white, fluffy cupcakes decorated to look like cats. Ta-da! She says that with a big toothy grin, clearly proud of her work. The three of our eyes light up. They look amazing! Especially Sayori's eyes. I mean, look at that. I feel kind of bad about eating them. Well, you're not the only one, mate. The curse of good-looking food. So cute! Her excitement overshadows everything else. We each take a cupcake and we start to eat. Honestly, they taste as good as they look. The soft texture of the white cream perfectly accompanies the taste of the small bits of chocolate. I turn to Natsuki, swallowing before opening my mouth. You made these? She raises an eyebrow. Yeah. These taste great. Thanks for bringing them. I give her an earnest smile, causing her to fold her arms and blush a little. Well, it's not like I made them for you or anything. I never said you did? I decided to give up on Natsuki's bizarre logic and turn my attention to Yuri, who's coming over with a tray holding a collection of teacups and a teapot. The faint steam hinting at freshly made tea. Always a pleasant smell. You keep a whole tea set in here? Yuri smiles as gently as ever. Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. Well, I'm not complaining. Besides, I wouldn't turn down tea. I'm glad. Yuri's cheeks redden a bit as she sets the tray down and starts pouring a drink for each of us. She then takes a seat after handing us our respective cups. So, Ben, what kind of things do you like to read? I was kind of afraid of this question. Like, yeah, I've read a fair bit in the past, but nowhere near as much as anybody else in this club has, let alone Yuri. Of course, I still gotta be honest. Well, most of the time it ends up being like manga, song lyrics, and some other books. My voice trails off a bit. No worries. Maybe you'll pick up something to read during your time here? Maybe I will. I smile at Yuri again. I also noticed that Natsuki's head seemed to perk up a bit when I mentioned me reading manga. Maybe I'll be able to get recommendations from them both one day. Who knows? Jesus, I started going on there like a fucking auction announcer for a second. As the conversations carry on between each of us, I learn a bit more about the girls' literary interests. Honestly, it's amazing that they all seem quite close despite their varied tastes. It's a sign of a healthy group, mate. It soon gets suggested that Natsuki's been writing poems recently, seemingly on the cute side. I'm kinda curious to learn more about that. I turn to her. You write your own poems, Natsuki? I guess. Why do you care? I find that impressive. Would you mind sharing them at some point? No! She retreats into her chair a bit. You wouldn't like them. Not a confident writer, I presume? Stating the obvious as usual. Yeah, I should have named him Captain Obvious when I played this. I feel the same as Natsuki. Yuri suddenly pipes up, still as gentle as ever. Sharing that level of writing requires more than just confidence. I'm gonna turn that down a tad. I don't know how loud it was for you guys, but in my headphones it was kind of loud. I'll turn it back up if we need to. You must be willing to show your readers your vulnerable side, even showing them the deepest reaches of your heart. That was quite poetic, if I do say myself. Monika joins the conversation again. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe Natsuki would feel comfortable if you shared some of your work. Yuri goes to say something, but falls silent shortly after a bit of stammering. I empathize with her in a way. Like, I'm not usually the best at sharing my more emotional side so freely, especially with the people I've really just met. I glance back at Monika. I guess it's the same for Yuri, too. Aww. Yuri seems a little downcast. I wanted to read everyone's poems. There's a moment of silence. Seemingly out of nowhere, Monika's vibrant green eyes sparkle with optimism. Okay, everyone, I've got an idea! Our collective gaze fixates on Monika. How about we all go home and write a poem of our own, and then share them tomorrow? That way we'll all be even. There's a bit of hesitation from Natsuki and Yuri. Kind of expected that to be the case. I go to speak. I definitely... Yeah! Let's do it! I'm suddenly caught off by Sayori's burst of energy. How the hell do I keep up with her? Excellent question, mate. I'd like to know too. It does seem to put a smile on Monika's face, though. She then turns to me. And since we've got a new member now, it should help strengthen the bond of the club. Isn't that right, Ben? Well, I mean, how can any man not crumple in the face of that smile? I hadn't been actually considering joining any clubs full-time, but I can't deny that this club is quite a relaxed atmosphere. Be it because of the girls themselves, or simply because it's a smaller club, I still haven't quite worked that one out yet. Now, don't worry, you'll figure it out soon enough, mate. I'm sure you'll get there. Besides, if writing poems is what it takes to reconnect with Monika, then I say it's worth it. I collect my thoughts. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Wait! You're joining? My response seems to take Sayori by surprise. I give her a nudge. Come on, you think I wouldn't join? Besides, it's kinda cozy. The feeling of happiness about my decision seems to be mutual throughout the group. Hell, even Natsuki seems glad. Now that's a first. If you just came for those cupcakes, I'd be super pissed. Sounds like something I could see myself saying. Well, that makes it official. Whilst Monika's voice is addressing the four of us, her eyes remain focused on me. Welcome to the Literature Club. My pleasure. After that, the meeting slowly comes to its conclusion. You don't need that apostrophe there, mate. It was a lot less nerve-wracking than I thought it would be. Just a little hint. Let me go to my filter here. It's spelled racking. I wish I could tell you, mate. I don't know either. That is a rarity to see Natsuki genuinely happy about us joining. Maybe, just maybe, it's because we mentioned something about manga. Maybe, just maybe, it has to do something with that. I don't know. Everyone seems really nice, too, which makes the atmosphere that much better. I pull up my phone to make a note for tonight's assignment. Write a poem for tonight. Sayori then skips up to me as I slide my phone back into my pocket. You ready to go? Yeah, hang on. I sling my bag over my shoulder. Before we leave, I wave and say goodbye to the rest of the club. Whilst Natsuki and Yuri shyly wave back at me, Monika waves in a way that's almost saying it's almost as if she's saying goodbye to an old friend. See you tomorrow! Me and Sarah then begin our journey home. And that was a pretty good first day, all things considered. Ooh. Ambiance. Seems like the birds are tied to the music. So maybe I should just keep it where it is. You look as good as ever in that tank top, by the way. All throughout the walk home, my mind is already racing about what I could write tonight. However, there's one thing, one person, in fact, that my mind keeps coming back to. That being Monika. Just Monika. You had to slip it in there somewhere, game. You had to do it at least once. I couldn't put a finger on it as to why she was floating around in my head. Maybe it's because of my still present crush on her? Who's to know? I can't say for sure. All I do know is that she leaves me with this rather pleasant feeling in my chest, almost reminding me of when I first laid eyes on her. Nothing wrong with that, mate. I stop momentarily and place my hand on my chest. Heart won't stop pounding! Almost like this is what it's like to have butterflies in your chest. Earth to Ben? Sayori's voice breaks my thoughts. Yeah. I turn to face her, my face slightly red. You okay? My hand still on my chest, I feel my heartbeat starting to steady. It's nothing, Sayori. I can't tell her why I'm feeling this way. Well, at least why I think I do anyway. Just how would she even react? I just got stuff on my mind is all. The look Sayori gives me is one that says, I can see right through you, but she doesn't say anything to confirm that suspicion. Sounds good, mate. I might be getting off a little early too, because I don't know when that dude is coming to drop off the car, so I want to try to be there when it happens, but you guys know my sleep schedule. It's non-existent, so yeah, we'll just see what happens. Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow. I bid her goodbye as we go our separate ways. But yeah, have a good night, Onyx. As usual, I try the door to see if Mum's back from work. Get my key out of my pocket and let myself in. I know Mum's been working 2 jobs since my dad died. But honestly, it gets lonely sometimes being here on my own. Yeah, way to just casually drop that on us. That sucks, mate. That's an oof moment right there. I fetch a small bag of crisps from the cupboard to keep my stomach satisfied till dinner. Making my way upstairs, I take a quick detour into my bedroom, which I can describe as a nerd's paradise, to drop my bag and get out of my uniform. Can't really focus at home like that now, can I? After that, and more snacking, I make my way to what used to be the guest room. I don't remember this. I don't remember this being part of the mod before. Or maybe it was, and my memory is just bad on this part. I like how they tried to emulate the style of the base game rooms, even if it is a bit more simplistic, I think is the best word I can use to describe this. Like, I was kind of hoping to see something out of the windows there, unless, you know, the curtains are drawn. But that's just what I think. We don't really have long-term guests anymore, so Mom decided to give me the room to myself to have somewhere to focus on my music. I still gotta tidy up this room at some point. I sit in the nearby office chair, internally debating with myself whether to work on music or the poem. Thinking about it, probably be best to sort out the poem. Gotta make an at least decent first impression with my writing. I get up and return to my room. After sitting at my desk, I grab a pen and a single piece of paper and start jotting down what's on my mind. I remember that being a technique taught to us during the first year English classes. Back then, I didn't expect to be using it outside of class. And after about 5 minutes, I'm finished. Yep. Rare footage of something being taught in school being useful outside of class. Amidst the standard emotional stuff, there's the remnants of when I may have gone too far into my heart. Can I see? I must have written down and then scribbled out Monika's name at least 4 or 6 times. Damn, bro. You okay, man? I know you said you have a bit of a crush, but damn. That's something. That's something right there. Even now, the thought of her makes my heart race. Maybe that schoolboy crush of mine never died? That's the impression I'm getting from you, mate. That's the impression I'm getting from you. Grabbing a second sheet of paper, I feel a new sense of determination as I start letting my heart guide the movements of my pen. That, in itself, is oddly poetic to me. Is that a good sign? Let's hope. Come on. Place your bets now. What is he going to write about? Obviously, we know it's going to be about Monika in some form, but be more specific than that. Okay? There's really only one way to find out. Yep, here we go. With the ring of the bell, another day of classes come to an end. I like how we're ending in the music room here. I have some good memories of this room. Since my last class was music, I quickly make my way up to the club room. And here we are. To my surprise, I'm the first one in. I at least thought that Monika would have been here first, given her being the club president and all. Seizing the brief time alone I know I have, I take a seat at the nearest adjacent desk and take out my laptop to make some little tweaks to my latest class project. The project itself is nothing too out there. I'm curious just what it could be. It's a simple piece, driven mostly by a steady bass line, a piano, and a kick drum. Ah, nice. It's akin to some of my earlier hyperactive productions, but definitely more simplistic when it comes to the sound design. This guy would get along with the head of stock department at my job. He would get along with that. He would get along with this guy really well. Because that is his life outside of work, basically. That is his life outside of work, music. That and one of our old meat cutters that isn't at the store anymore. Do we get to listen? I listen again. Maybe I should scrap this. Well, use your imagination, I guess. Just then, my head darts back as the door opens. It's Monika. You're not looking so hot. Monika, what's wrong? Why the long face? Don't start pulling on my heartstrings already, please. Please, it's too early for this. Please don't do this. I focused back on my laptop, praying she didn't notice me or my dilemma. However, I then hear her back softly hit against the door in a long, exhausted sigh. No. Please, Maud. Maud, please, it's too early for this. Don't do this to me already. I glance back and her eyes meet mine. Hey, Ben. Hey, Monika. I give her a gentle smile. You good? She smiles back. Would certainly make some things easier and some things more complicated. That's what I'll say on that, mate. So what's everybody doing tonight? Anything you're working on while you're watching, or you're just kind of hanging out? Kinda. That's not a solid response, Monika. Kinda's not a good response to you good. That implies there's kinda not something okay with you. Just science class stressing me out. I can sympathize with her. There's only 2 science teachers for our year, those being Miss Nakama and Mr. Kurosawa. I see that side of the argument too. Cause, yeah. Just think about what that would do for advertisers if that actually was allowed on the platform. Just imagine what that would do for advertisers. Like I said, it would make some things simpler and some things more complicated. But I think it's a bad idea overall. Whereas Nakama is more youthful and her lessons tend to be more down to earth from what Sayori has told me, Kurosawa has a bit of a rep for being a hard ass. Let me guess. Kurosawa giving you a hard time? I apologize if I'm butchering any of these names, by the way. Never been the best with foreign names. She nods. I pull out a chair for her. I don't even have to say anything as she starts to come over to join me. She appreciates the gesture, mate. Her eyes then focus on the screen of my laptop. What are you up to? She seems curious. My eyes first start to the screen, then back to her. I feel my cheeks redden a bit. Just answer the woman's question, damn it! It's nothing. Just the class project. Kind of thinking of starting over. She focuses a little more on the screen before her eyes flicker back to meet mine. A smile forms across her face. Do you mind if I have a listen? Sure. Smile back as I then hit the spacebar to start the track. Again, part of me wants to restart it, but I can't help but notice that Monika seems to kind of enjoy it. Her head is even bobbing to the beat. Maybe it's not as bad as you thought, mate. I've said this before, but being good at something forces humility out of you, and you tend to look at your stuff as worse than what other people might see it as. It's all about how you see it, mate. It's all about perspective. As soon as it began, the track comes to an end, and, as if on cue, the door opens and the rest of the club makes their way into the room. Monika quickly turns to me, seemingly taken aback by the sudden entry of the rest of the club. I'll tell you what I thought in a bit. She smiles sweetly and I return it. That damn irresistible smile of hers! She then gets up and starts to greet the rest of the club. I quickly close my laptop and slide it back into my bag. I then feel the air quickly leave my lungs as a pair of arms suddenly clamp around me. Hey, Ben! Sayori's voice rings into my ears. Hey, Sayori! Struggle to get my words out as I wriggle my way to freedom. Yuri then approaches me, a warm yet timid smile on her face. Glad to see you didn't run away on us, Ben. I chuckle, returning the smile. You don't have to worry about me doing that. Besides, how could I run from a place as comfy as this? Natsuki soon interjects with a mix of her regular sass and grin. Don't get too comfy, though, or you won't hear the end of it. Is that a threat? I know. Honestly, it's kind of amusing when Natsuki tries to be assertive. Though, I have the feeling that if I said that, my nose would probably be the first to know it. That's a fair assumption to make with Natsuki. Don't worry, Ben is always giving his best when he's having fun. He even helps me with busy work without asking. She then audibly counts everything I've helped her with. Cooking, cleaning my room. She eventually loses her train of thought. How dependable. Yuri smiles gently at the pair of us. I might even be a little jealous if I'm honest. I chuckled, feeling my cheeks redden. To be fair, this isn't the first time someone might have gotten the wrong impression about Sayori and I's friendship. No, Yuri. No. It's not like that at all. I smile back at her. Period lips. Seriously, whenever she does that, it looks like they just did a dot. Her room gets a bit distracting when it's messy. I then turn to Sayori. Not to mention the little incident with the bacon last week. Can we not bring that up? I then whisper to Yuri. Yeah, she almost set her kitchen on fire. After that, everyone departs to what I assume are their usual activities. Natsuki's rummaging around in the closet, Sayori is having a cheery conversation with Monika in the corner, and Yuri's face is buried within quite a sizable novel. Hey, nice title reference. Guess you could spell it both ways. This is why I say English is hard, ladies and gentlemen. Her intense expression hints that she's been longing for this moment. Speaking of novels, I should probably pick up a book to read. After all, I did join a literature club. It's really the least I can do. I mean, it's in the name. Shit, you might as well. I walk to the back of the room and start scanning the books located there. My eyes scan each title on the various spines. I mumble to myself, keeping my voice as quiet as possible so as not to distract the girls. Exit music? No. Nice reference. Fallen Angel? No. On the to-do list? I keep going until my eyes meet on a peculiar-looking spine. Pretty sure that was in the demo. I go to pull the book off the shelf to check out the book more thoroughly. That is, until I feel a hand tap my shoulder and I spin around, quite honestly taken aback. Huh! It's just Sayori. I keep my voice low. Jesus, Sayori! Startled me! She just giggles proudly before speaking. Monika wants to ask you something. She then practically drags me by the arm to the front of the class where, as suggested, Monika was waiting for me. Any harder and she might have yanked my arm clean off. Come on, bro. I'm sure that's an exaggeration. Couldn't have been that bad. Come on, bro. At very most, she might have dislocated it a little bit. Just pop that shit back into place. It'll be fine. Monika closes her notebook and looks up at me, smiling once more. Hey, Ben. Hey, Monika. Sayori gives me a sly glance that simply says, I knew it, but Monika doesn't seem to notice. Sayori said you wanted to ask me something? Yeah, I do, actually. She steps up from the desk and gets near me and Sayori. I was gonna get some supplies from the art department and was wondering if you'd maybe want to tag along? The way she sends that sends butterflies down my stomach. But at the same time, I can't help but think, wouldn't Sayori be better for that? But I'm still designing... She stops herself and then lowers her voice a bit, as to not get the attention of Natsuki and Yuri. The posters... I decide not to press either of them on it just yet. Apparently, Caleb. In that case, I'd be glad. Yeah, my mate here brought the point up. We talked about it earlier, though. My response to that was it would make some things simpler and a lot of other things more complicated. Feel free to let me know what you think. I smile at Monika. The look on Sayori's face from earlier remains. Maybe this could give us a bit more time to talk? Monika beams at me. I promise we won't be too long. Honestly, I'd love to spend as much time as I can with her. Yeah, our boy still has a bit of a crush on her. Ignore him. Monika then turns her attention to Sayori. You don't mind watching the club whilst we're gone, right? Well, I am the vice president after all. Sayori teases playfully before plopping herself at the front desk. And with that, Monika let Natsuki and Yuri know that the pair of us will be back in a bit before we make our way out to the corridor. Once outside, I noticed Monika looking back into the club with a not-so-subtle smile on her face. It's just so relaxing in there. I couldn't help but smile too. It is. Guessing that's part of the reason you started it in the first place. She turns to me. Honestly, yeah. Most of the other clubs were mostly just arguing over publicity, the budget, and the festival. Not to mention the drama. Like, in the second year, you must have been part of every major club there was. If I remember right, weren't you in the debate club at the start of this year? Monika laughs as we start walking down the hall. Oh god, don't get me started on debate club. Bad memories? Worst mistake of my life. I assume that assumption to be correct, then. The worst mistake of your life so far. Didn't know Homer would be making a guest appearance in this. Fucking Simpsons movie, man. Good shit. As we get further from the club room, the conversation only grows. It's not too long till Monika's letting me know how most of the bigger clubs aren't all that they're cracked up to be. Eventually we ended up talking about the literature club once again. I'd rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. Her enthusiasm is just about as contagious as her smile. In that case, I'm surprised more people haven't joined yet. It is true, though. I mean, I know a literature club doesn't sound too exciting. But for me, it's only fair to judge a club by its members. And at least from what I can tell, everyone else in the club seems really nice and close with each other. No apostrophe there. Monika speaks up again. That only makes events like the festival that much more important. Hopefully we can all grow the club before we graduate. A thought suddenly pops into my head. So after that, would Natsuki become president or something? No. Natsuki's in the same year as the rest of us. Oh. My bad. Oh, don't apologize. She gets that all the time. Yeah, I think anybody with a brain could see why. We keep walking until we reach the door to the art department. It's a section of the school I've not visited since the first year. To be honest, I was never really any good at art in the traditional sense, being more creative with computers and music software. So I dropped out of I think you mean to say you dropped out of it at the start of the second year. Yeah, the grammar has not been the most polished, I will say. It's another thing I can count against it. It could do with some polishing up still, in my eyes. I like how they're kind of reworking the events of the original story to give it a more grounded feel, as in there's like no meta shenanigans going on. But yeah, the writing, it feels like, could still use a bit of sprucing up, and some of the custom backgrounds could still use some more polishing up too. I like what we've got so far, but it can definitely be better. I will say that. I noticed Monika peeking through the door, presumably checking if there's a club going on or something. Again, back to what I was saying about the grammar there. There's two different spellings of peeking. We're clear. I'm just happy to have scroll wheel so that I can properly go back and look at this stuff. Monika calls me over as she opens the door, and I quickly follow her inside. I think it's been since the last time I played the demo? Or World of Dreams since I've seen this room. It has been a long time since I have seen this room. Monika's already made her way to the supplies closet and started searching. I, on the other hand, just idly stand there whilst taking the occasional glance at her. Eventually, she breaks the silence. Hey, could you come hold this a sec? She holds out a small pile of cardstock. I take it, and she thanks me with the same sweet smile she's always had. In a way, I'm glad we're doing this out of normal school hours. God only knows the kinds of rumors that would spring up if anyone outside the club saw us alone in a classroom. Oh yeah, that shit would spread like wildfire, man. That is what schools are known for. That shit spreads like wildfire. And yeah, there would be people spreading that shit within the hour. If even that. Focus, mate. Although, admittedly, the thought of us making out in a barren classroom feels kinda fun. Monika's curious tone snaps me out of my little stupor. Or should I say daydream. You okay? You've been doing this quite a bit lately, mate. You okay? I really am starting to get concerned here. Yeah, just spacing out a bit. I stammer as I try to cover my back. I'm missing a word there. Luckily, she seems to buy it. No worries. She giggles as she steps out of the closet and shuts the door behind her. It happens to the best of us. That's what they say. Can't imagine you doing it. Well... She traces the edge of a desk with her finger, as if tracing back her thoughts. It's happened to me before. Hell, when Sayori first came to the club, she caught me napping on the front desk. Yeah, Zach, I saw Ronald was streaming God of War. I think he started playing it fairly recently, because I think he's on his 4th session, if I'm remembering the title right. That's another one that's on my ever-growing to-do list. And I mean, hey, you want me to play it, Zach? I'm still linking that post in the description of every video. You know what to do. Now that sounds more like Sayori than you, Monika. I decide to tease her a bit. Coffee only gets you so far, you know? Yeah, she's right about that. Honestly, outside of the club, Monika seems really genuine and down-to-earth. Part of me wonders if anyone else has this side of her. I think you mean has seen this side of her. I mean, I'm guessing that everyone else in the club has, and her other friends have seen it. I think we're all done here. Ready to head back? Sure. I make sure I've still got everything she's handed me, and we start making our way back upstairs. I just want to get a rain check of me if you're still here. Does this seem much different from the Act 1 from the demo, or is this similar? Because it's feeling... This is starting to feel a little familiar. Why we didn't just use an elevator is beyond me, but hey, I'm not complaining about spending more time with Monika. Before we start to reach the club room, I decide to ask about the track we listened to before club started. Yeah, we should probably do this now, since we're probably not going to get to during club time. So, what did you think about that track from earlier? I liked it. Her eyes met mine. My only problem with it is that it's too short. I find myself blushing again. It's nothing, really. Besides, knowing you, you're probably better at music than I am. I did practice piano a bit, but I wasn't any good at it. I doubt that. We soon make our way back to the club room. She's not lying, mate. And we're back. Upon entering, not much has changed. Yuri's still focused on her novel, while Sayori and Natsuki are chatting near the windowsill. Sayori then notices us both and practically skips towards us. You get everything you needed? Both Monika and I nod. Yep, honestly, Ben was a real help. It's no problem, really. Natsuki then pipes up as Sayori collects everything and takes it to the front. What took you two so long? Were you making out? As much as I'd love that to have happened, can't help but be a little taken aback by how sincere she sounded. I glance at Monika and we both share a blush. The more I look at her, the more I see a faint smile being delicately painted across her face. Maybe deep down, she wanted that to have been reality? We slow down a bit here. It's fucking day 2, man. I know you guys had some classes together in the past and shit, but, maybe get to know each other a little bit first? Like, shit, man. I know she's your fucking crush and all, but don't rush this shit. Natsuki then focuses in on me. Honestly, Ben, I thought you'd be a pump and go kind of guy, but color me impressed. I think you could use a comma there. She caps that off with an insanely cheeky smile. Pump and go kind of guy? What does she... Oh! My face goes an even deeper shade of red. One that my nerdy brain can only describe as almost cacodemon. My eyes widen as well. No, Natsuki, by the time I gather myself, Natsuki's already gotten closer to me and brings herself up to my ear. Well, as close as someone as short as her can get. It's obvious you've thought about it. I go to deny it, though thankfully I don't need to, as Natsuki's already trotted off safely back under the windowsill. Yuri looks over at her and sighs. Please show some decency, Natsuki. Hey, oh, come on, I was just teasing. Natsuki's voice whines as Yuri shakes her head. I would just sum that up as Natsuki whines. Can't deny that it was at least kind of funny. Sure, if that's what you're into. I don't have much time to settle down before Monika announces to the club. Okay, everyone, it's time to share poems. With that, Natsuki and I reluctantly get their poems out of their bags, as do I. Sayori pulls hers out of her pocket, typical Sayori. Monika then walks over to me. You remember to write a poem last night? I did, yeah. It's kind of the first thing I did when I got back. It's probably not any good. She then pats my shoulder. Don't worry, I'm not really good at this either. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good. Well, that's 'cause I have to sound confident. Doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know? A faint blush then overcomes her cheeks. Besides, I'm just looking forward to seeing how you express yourself. You're saying that in a very different way to how you did in the base game. What you doing? The way she smiles at me, combined with how she said that last part, sends a rather pleasant feeling down my stomach. Can't describe it too well, but it feels really sweet. You too, Monika. She then strides off back to the front desk to get her notebook. Still feeling a tinge of awkward about the whole scenario I've thrown myself into. I go to share my poem with Sayori. After all, she knows me better than anybody in this club. With that in mind, I go over and sit in front of her. Hey, Sayori. She smiles cheerfully. Oh, hey, Ben. You ready to share your poem? I guess. Once again, I find myself mumbling. God, this is embarrassing. I lower my head to the desk, only for Sayori to do the same, lowering her voice as well. About the poem, or what Natsuki said about you and Monika? About the poems! Respond quickly. keeping my voice low enough to not catch anyone else's attention. Afterwards, I placed my head on the desk, only for Sayori to pat the back of my noggin. I believe you, don't worry. I look up at her and I smirk, sliding my poem over to her. She flashes me a quick smile before starting to read it. In time, she finishes reading, looking quite proud. This is a really good poem. It's got some nice feelings in it. Would have liked to see it, but it is what it is, I guess. I chuckle with another smirk. You're just saying that. No, I'm not. I mean it. She sounds sincere. Thanks, Sayori. Surely I'm not as good as she's making me out to be. Can't deny that it feels nice, though. Anyways, can I read your poem now? Go for it! Sayori beams. I pick her poem up off the table and begin to read it. The poem titled Dear Sunshine seems just like something you can imagine Sayori writing. The more melancholic connotations to the words aren't lost on me either. However, that last line makes me smile to myself. So yep, just the standard. What you'd expect. I want breakfast. I like how that's how she ends it. It's a pretty good. To me, Mario. But did you write it this morning? She seems genuinely confused. In response, I turn the paper in her direction so she can read it and point to the last line. Her eyes scan the paper until they finally meet my finger. I don't remember writing that. Sure you don't. Sure you don't, Sayori. Are you sure about that? I give her a reassuring smile. Come on, it's okay. She smiles back as I continue. Besides, if you think about it, it still works. Did he end up winning the first Valkyrie fight? Sayori cocks her head a little to the side. The way I'm thinking about it is that the subject of the poem is probably just waking up like they would any other day. I think it'll be a while before we get to that point, Zach. For now, I'm just enjoying myself. Although we have seen some shades of what's to come, that's for sure. Maybe the whole I want breakfast thing could be seen as them getting out of bed? She's nodding as if thinking it over. Well, at least he got past it, and that's what matters. But back to my boy here, I think you're giving her more credit than she deserves, mate. I think you're giving her more credit than she deserves. That actually kind of makes sense. You're sounding a bit like Monika. I feel myself blushing slightly. No, you're just saying that. I chuckle nervously, part of me hoping Monika didn't hear what she said. Sayori simply shakes her head, her grin never leaving her face. Anyway, I'm gonna go share with Natsuki now. In a bit. I wave back at Sayori as she starts chatting with Natsuki. I look back to Monika and notice that she's just finishing up with Yuri. Monika seemed quite eager to see my poem earlier, so it only makes sense that I should share with her next. Poem in hand, I get up and walk over. Alright, here we go! What can we expect today? Yeah, shit. Sometimes I forget scroll wheel is on in this mod. I give her a short wave and smile. Hey. Her eyes meet mine, and she smiles sweetly at me. Hey, Ben. You having a good time so far? Feel like this could have done with a tiny bit more time in the oven. Just saying. You like jazz? I am, yeah. I take a seat right in front of Monika. I'm glad. I choose to ignore the fact that I've not really spent too much time inside the club room today. Having spent the majority of my time here with her. Don't focus on it too. Don't worry about it too much, mate. But yeah, I don't know if you were here when I brought it up, Zach, but yeah, kind of my big criticism so far is that it feels like this could have done with more time in the oven. Like, it seems like they've ironed out the story pretty good so far. I like the more grounded feel that it has, but feels like they could have spent some time going over the text to fix up some of the grammar a little more, rather than just chucking it in spell check. Ugh. And I'm not trying to throw shade and say that's what they did. I'm just saying that is the impression that I'm getting reading this. Yep, you've been releasing those videos faster than I expected, so I'm gonna have to catch up. I'm gonna have to catch up, Zach. But yeah, right now it's feeling like the mod could have done with more time in the oven to really hit that high level of quality. That's just me, though. But in all fairness, I'd be lying if I didn't say I was enjoying myself. Also, since you're new here and everything, if you ever have any ideas of other activities we could do, or what we could do better, don't be afraid to let me know. Don't you worry, I'll keep that in mind. Of course I'm gonna be afraid to let her know! What experience do I have at organizing clubs? Better off just trusting Monika's judgment on these things. Anyway, guess I've gotta show you my poem. I timidly slide the sheet over to her. Yep. I've actually been looking forward to it. To everyone's poem, or just mine? Judging by that face, I'm going to assume it's the latter, mate. She picks up the sheet and begins to read it with an intent expression. Minutes pass. More than enough time for her to finish reading the poem. My mind keeps telling me, she hates it, she hates it, she hates it! She eventually places the paper down and looks quite astonished. Are you sure this is your first time writing poetry? Yeah? I feel a bead of sweat trickle down my forehead. I understand, Zach. Just don't be afraid to reach out if you feel you need it, man. We're here for you. Is it that bad? No! Monika's tone shifts to a more apologetic one. I didn't mean it like that. Her cheeks redden a bit. I just meant that it was pretty good. So you're already saying that is one thing. Monika, though? Nah, you can't be serious. No, I am. She smiles sweetly at me, causing me to smile back as well. In a way, the language kind of reminds me of my own poems. It does? Surprised by that comment. My writing's never been that great, even with my improving over the years. There's no way in hell I could seriously compare to her work, though. Right? She nods, sliding her notebook over to me, signaling me to read it. Hey, to be fair, mate, I'm the same way. I'm the same fucking way, so I don't want to hear it. I focus in on the page. Her poem seems to tell the story of a person doing all they can to preserve the way that people think about them, no matter the strain on their mind. It's quite solemn, yet hopeful at the same time. Dude, do you think I'm joking? Do you think I'm joking about that part? Seriously, every time somebody says I do good shit at work, I'm like, fuck, bro. I'm just like, I'm just doing my job. Fuck. By the end, there's the suggestion that one day they won't need to keep appearances up. So this is definitely different from her usual opening poem on day one. It would be nice to actually see that in writing, I have to say. Be nice to have a more visual representation of it, so that we can preserve it. But yeah, if somebody wants to try their best writing a poem, a full poem based on this, I'd love to see it. I read it through a second time before looking back up at Monika, completely taken aback. I knew she'd be good at this, but this is something else. Based on what, you ask? The poem that's described in these 3 lines right here. Here, I'll use my snippet cursor to drag over the lines. Right here. These 6 lines right here. I wouldn't mind seeing a poem based on that. That looks really great. Take a screenshot and send it to you? Alright. If you want to give it a shot. Wasn't expecting anyone to actually do it. Alright, let's see. Pictures? Yeah, go for it. Wait. There we go. Make sure you circle what you mean so I can know what the fuck you're talking about. I just screenshotted the lines directly. The exact lines that it's based on. Alright, now, where are you? Saved pictures. God damn it, where did it end up? It's gotta be in here. Okay. This is getting me nowhere. Sort by fucking date. Yeah, there we go. Oh, why didn't that show up earlier? Yep, I sent it to you, mate. Just give it a shot when you have time. If you really want to, that is. Is that all you can say, Ben? Monika smirks. Glad you liked it. As I hand her book back, a thought crosses my mind. Kinda curious though. What was on your mind when you wrote this? She stops, silently mulling over what to say next. I'd say that over the years, noticed that some people have a habit of keeping up appearances just because people see them a certain way. That's a little deeper than I expected. It does also remind me of certain people I've seen, mostly other high schoolers. Go on. I just told you I'd love to see it. I don't know what more would get the point across. I know I've been bad about this stuff before, Zach. You don't need to remind me. Like, I wouldn't say I'm the best at reading people, but I at least think people like that may hate being held to such high standards. She goes on, sounding like an expert. Then again, she's been around so many people over the years I've known her, so... Could use a comma there, mate. So that very well may be the case. I take a sigh as I collect my thoughts. Honestly, partially what I thought it was about. She gives me a knowing smile. Oh, excuse me. Maybe we're more alike than you thought? Yeah, a certain somebody tells me that when she says that the human mind is not as dissimilar from a computer as we think. I seriously doubt that. All because we thought the same ones can't mean much, right? Unless she remembers our discussions back in class back then. Girl's mind is far better than mine, if that's the case. I decide to humor her. Maybe we are, maybe we aren't. You didn't need to tell me that last part, Zach. I knew you were joking around. We share a short laugh between us. That's something that takes me back fondly. She was the only person that made last year's English class bearable to get through. I guess that's why I always gravitated towards her for group work. Either that or it's because she was probably the only one person in that class that put up with my sorry ass. Maybe it's a bit of both. I don't fucking know. I don't know why I'm doing an accent all of a sudden. But that's in the past. I need to focus on now. Monika's the first to talk after a short laugh. I was kinda worried you wouldn't take this seriously, but you surprised me. I felt my face redden a bit. Hey, it's nothing. I chose to be a part of this club after all. And I'm glad you are. What happened to your phone, mate? What happened to your phone? Thanks, Monika. My sandwich side takes. Oh, excuse me. I think I need to stand up and stretch. I don't know what it is about this chair, but it makes me a little sleepy. I think after the news I found out today about my car, I'd be fucking pumped, but you'd be wrong. Oh, it's just slow? I can relate. I can relate, man. Been there, done that. My stammering side takes center stage again. No! I just stretched. God damn it. Damn nerves. Thanks for sharing. I get up from my seat to figure out who to share with next. Since Eri and Natsuki still seem to be in deep conversation, or deep discussion, whether about the poem or something else is anyone's guess, I decide to share with Yuri. Here we go! And with one final sigh, that's everyone shared with. Mod's got its fucking priorities, I'll say that. All we get is just Sayuri and Monika. Fuck the other two. God damn. Can't say the mod doesn't have its priorities, I'll say that. Rest in peace, Yuri and Natsuki fans. Me trying to fight off sleep because I keep yawning, and Natsuki and Yuri just getting completely fucked over just now. Not even getting scenes to share poems. So yeah, I guess get fucked, Natsuki and Yuri fans. Yes, yes, indeed. I had a feeling today would be a bit more stressful than before because of the poems, and I was partially right about that. I really do apologize that I keep yawning. Has it almost been 2 hours already? I guess it is coming up on 1:45. Now that's just lazy writing. Yawn more? No, don't tell me. Don't tell me that. You're gonna make it happen. But yeah, what I was gonna say is that, yeah, this sentence could have used another, at least one comma or something. Because, fuck me. Run on sentence much. Now look what you've done. Sure, Monika and Sayuri were easy to deal with, but sharing with Natsuki and Yuri was a little more tense than I would have liked. No worries though, I'm sure I'll be able to improve. I seriously thought you would have been asleep by now, Zach. And yet, for some reason, you keep coming back. Even though you said you were tired. You did the thing, mate. No worries there. I'm sure I'll be able to improve. Yuri seemed quite willing to help me with that. Eager, almost. Really? Would have been nice to see that. But, again, mod's got its priorities. As I'm sitting back, I can see Sayuri and Monika having a chat. I think they've just finished sharing. Natsuki and Yuri, on the other hand, seem to be trying to find the right words to say to each other. From where I am, I can see Natsuki slide Yuri's poem back over to her in a rather dismissive fashion. God damn it. Yeah, fair. Ugh. I guess you could say it's fancy. Oh no, here we go. Classic moment. Yuri smiles sadly in response. I'm pretty sure I said this about the original demo for Within, but yeah, the start kind of just feels like Act 1 syndrome. It's got a little bit of Act 1 syndrome. I like how they're at least rewriting it to make it feel more grounded and to give Monika a new story arc, but again, I think I'm going to be waiting for later in the mod. Ah, thanks. She then returns Natsuki's poem back to her. Yours is cute. Both responses are rather drab. Hell, they do seem to generalize each other's work quite a bit. Natsuki stands up, seeming quite irritated by Yuri's comment. Yep, like I said, classic moment. Here we go. Okay, I'm back. My nose is just really starting to feel stuffy. I had to fix that. Natsuki stands up, seeming quite irritated by Yuri's comment. Cute? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that. Yuri visibly panics. It's obvious she's not used to being put on the spot like this. I just meant... the language, I guess? I was trying to say something nice. Oh yeah? Well, it didn't come out nice at all. Natsuki crosses her arms as she scoffs. And I know you said you skipped to the end of the demo, but one, I don't remember when that was. I think you said it was at the kiss part? Minor spoiler for later. But two, I haven't played this since the demo came, like the demo from a year ago, so I want to refresh myself on this. A tense moment of silence follows. Monika and Sarah turn around in preparation for whatever may happen next. Yuri breaks the silence as quickly as it had come over the room. Well, I do have some if I wanted suggestions, I'd ask someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Sadori liked it, and so did Ben. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all... Excuse me. As a sharp contrast to Natsuki, Yuri's soft and calculated mannerisms are enough to silence her. I've spent a long time refining my writing style, and unless I come across anything new that inspires me, I don't see it changing. Natsuki's face adopts a look of clear irritance. And Ben liked my poem too. He even told me he was impressed by it. To be honest, I was impressed by both your poems, so that's actually kind of true. The pair fell silent for a brief moment before Natsuki cracks a smug smile, like she's cracked the Enigma code or something. Hey, don't bring him into this. I didn't know you were so invested in trying to impress Ben, Yuri. What? Yuri's expression changes to one of flustered bewilderment. I looked back at Sayori and Monika, who just seemed confused by Natsuki's sudden comment. I'm in the same boat as them. I turned back to Natsuki and Yuri with a sigh. I guess it's up to me to put a stop to this before it escalates. Listen, girls. A pair of them look at me with expectant eyes. It's true that both your poems impressed me. I can't deny that. But is that any reason to take shots at each other? I give them a brief period of time to think what I just said over before continuing. Look, seriously, you both are able to convey the messages you want to send in however many words you like. It doesn't matter which words you use, your message is still valid. More silence. I'm just wondering where the fuck this confidence came from. I look back, feeling unsure of my attempt to disarm this possible argument. You can kind of tell, just what kind of person the writer is as I'm reading this. Like, it feels like the best word I could use to describe it is adolescent. And I don't mean that as an insult by any means. That's just how I'm seeing it. I look back, feeling unsure of my attempt to disarm the possible argument. Both Sayori and Monika are nodding vigorously, Monika herself especially looking fairly surprised. To her credit, she always knew me as the guy that was too nervous to speak up in class. Well then keep going, mate! Don't stop now! You're right. I'm terribly sorry for disrespecting your work, Natsuki. Natsuki, however, looks like she still might have some fight left in her. Before she can throw out anything else, Monika steps in, and whilst the look on her face is stern, her voice is soft and calm. Natsuki, Yuri apologized. Don't you think you should too? Natsuki simply looks away from the rest of the group, completely unsure of what to say. Soon enough, though, she turns to face Yuri. Look, Yuri, I'm sorry too. As the pair of them make up, I go to Sayori and breathe a sigh of relief. I didn't know you had that in you. Sayori, of course, seems quite impressed with me. Seriously, thanks for stepping in there. Monika then sighs and lowers her voice. I can't even manage my own club members. Some president I am, huh? Hey, don't beat yourself up, okay? I think everyone's just a little on edge today. It's only after I've finished talking that I realize I'd placed a hand on Monika's shoulder. I quickly retract it. Sorry. No, you're alright. It's only once she says that I spot a faint blush. It's only once she says that I spot a faint blush creep its way onto Monika's cheeks. Yeah. I've already made my point about the grammar, but yeah. Could use a little rewording to make it flow a little better. Okay, everyone. It's time to wrap up for today. Once again, Monika's voice fills the room, her confidence in herself seemingly returning. That's good. How did everyone feel about sharing poems? I think it went great. It went better than I thought it would. It went okay. Well, mostly. Natsuki flashes Yuri an awkward glance. Yuri doesn't seem to notice it, though. Monika then turns her attention to me. How about you, Ben? I'd say it went pretty well. She smiles optimistically. In that case, how about we do the same for tomorrow? The remaining four of us agree in unison. To be fair, I doubt I'd get better at this if we just dropped it after one day. Besides, I'm not going to turn down a way to express myself creatively. Yeah. Message received. I might have to watch that if you guys upload it. After some more conversation about today, we all start to pack up. It isn't too long until Sarah and I wave goodbye and depart from the club. Unlike most of our walks home, Sarah is fairly quiet for the most part today. However, it's clear that it's not because something's bothering her. Rather, it seems like she's thinking hard about something. It's a good point, Zach. Once again, my selective memory at its finest. Yeah, also, I can't believe it's taken me this long to notice this about this background, but I just noticed how the gate or the fence there has little spots of rust in a few spots. I have never paid attention to that little detail about that fence. I don't know why I'm pointing that out, but it's something I've never noticed until now. How about no, you dumb bot? Wait, you got him to download Moss? You'll have to keep me posted on that, mate. You'll have to keep me posted on that, because I'm curious what he'll do with Moss. Not lying, he actually did it. Just keep me posted on his experience with it. I'm kind of curious now. I swear, the inner machinations of her mind could be one of life's greatest mysteries. Yeah, okay, Patrick. To think that I once thought there wasn't more to her than unfiltered happiness. Ah. Well, to be fair, I haven't even done that. At least not everything, because I like to be more selective, you know? That's just me, though. I don't like to just chuck everything in that I find. I like to be a little more selective, you know? Ah, okay. Oh, how naive I was. Hey, Ben? She speaks after what feels like forever, although realistically, it must have only been a couple minutes at most. Mind if I ask you something interesting? I don't even know if that's the right word to use. Yeah, sure. I stop on the pavement and turn on my heel to face Sayori. A moment passes as she ponders how to word whatever she wants to ask me. So, how do you think Monika feels about you? Well, that was abrupt. What? Out of whatever I was expecting her to ask, that certainly wasn't it. Hell, it's kind of surprising that she was so forward with it. Normally, she'd just verbally dance around the actual question. Where on earth did that come from? I shouldn't say much, but she did kind of ask me about you this morning. No shit? Plus, It's pretty obvious you're into her, Ben. Surely not, right? This guy? What? No. That can't be right. Come on, guys. He's not that obvious, is he? I remain silent, pondering on how to respond. Just gotta play it cool, Ben. You are, aren't you? Oh, there's no way I can lie to her at this point, is there? Then again, why would I need or want to do so? She's my best friend. If I can trust anyone with my secret, it'd definitely be her. I am. Yeah. I have been for a while. I'm gonna describe that music change as abrupt. That's the first time I've admitted my crush to anybody else. No take-backs. In a way, I'm thankful that the first person I told was Sayori. Would have been nice to hear something like this as like a sample of the track he was sharing with Monika earlier. There's a lot of little details that could go a long way to improving this, I have to say. But at the same time, I'm nervous as to what her reaction will be. Sayori hasn't yet said anything in response, opting instead to motion for me to continue talking. Might as well let this all out. Yeah, I can totally see Sayori doing that. Like, he pours his heart out to Sayori here about Monika, and then you just get the SpongeBob guy going 12 seconds later. And it's the next day, and she just bursts into the club room, spouting that from the top of her lungs. That would be perfect. That would be absolutely perfect. Might as well let this all out. I think it started during second year. I think it started when second year started. Even though we only had one class together, we got on really well. I can remember how I was still quite nervous to talk to anyone but you for the longest time. She nods, listening intently as if to ensure she doesn't miss a word. Well, Monika started talking to me first, and I didn't feel like I had to hide myself. Could be myself around her, and she never once judged me for it. I fall silent. My brain is screaming at me to stop, but I don't care. I need to get this out. Do this. Just being around her made class that bit more bearable. Like, I don't know if she chose to be around me or what, but it just felt nice. I knew I'd never have a shot in hell with her. Especially after Yuki, right? Yeah, Yuki. Go on. Ah, yes. Yuki Sakamoto. The girl who broke my heart and left the biggest dent in my confidence. Well, that answers that. That sucks, man. That sucks. She'd been dared to go out with the weird kid, that being me. Reminds me of a certain other girl from another mod. When I later found out she'd been cheating on me and confronted her about it, she just laughed. I still remember what she said. Why would anyone love you? Damn, bro. Talk about harsh. I have no comment on that, Zach. Thankfully, she's been long gone for a while now. Still doesn't change what she did. Nope. Ben, I promise you, Monika's not like that at all. What if she's not, Ben? There's people out there that would love you. You trust me, right? Of course I do, Seiyo. My voice trails off. Monika's really sweet. You have my word on that. And from what I can tell, she seems really comfortable around you. Not to mention, quiet, easy to fluster. Just swap some letters around there and you're all good. Yeah, Natsuki proved that to be true for both of us. I get the strange feeling that I'm never gonna live that down. Live what? Oh, right. What she said earlier. After a bit more walking, talking, and a lengthy hug from Sayori, we eventually make it back to the familiar view of our street. Hey, we're going out for dinner tonight. Do you want to come too? Sarah's parents have always treated me like one of their own. And again, our parents get along quite well too. I'd love to, but I gotta get this media studies essay finished. If I don't, Honda's gonna go nuclear on my ass. Really now. And just how close are you to flunking out of that class? If he's gonna go nuclear on you if you don't? Or does it just mean that much to your grade? Is it just that big of a percentage? Sometimes I wonder why I ever chose that class to begin with. Been there. Yeah, if I had to go back and do it all over again, I definitely would do some things different. Like maybe not take a college level physiology and anatomy class or whatever that was. Ugh, Christ. I was not ready for that. Note to past me. Media studies may sound cool, but maybe with another teacher. It's okay. There's always next time. True. Anyway, better not hold you up any longer. Have a good evening, Seiyo. You too! Just before Sarah gets back inside, I turn around and call out to her. Hey, Sayori! About what I told you. Could we keep this between us? Of course we can. Your secret is safe with me. With that, I return home. Shut the door behind me and rest my back against it. Yeah, feels bad, man. I'm sorry you had to go through that, Zach. That's always rough. If I ever needed any confirmation as to why I stayed friends with Sayori, today was it. Sure, I joke about her being an airhead sometimes, but she can be truly sincere when the situation calls for it. A comma would have done just fine there at the end of the first sentence. I can't tell if she only knows the right things to say because we've known each other for so long, or if she's just naturally good with people. But thanks to her, it's like a massive weight's been lifted off my chest. Now it's just building up the confidence to ask Mom. Baby steps. Baby steps. After realizing I can't work on my assignment on an empty stomach, I head to the kitchen. I quickly make up a sandwich, grab some other assorted snacks, and an energy drink. If it were me making a sandwich, I'd go for a fucking ham and cheese sandwich or something. Yeah, for me when I was in high school, Zach, it was a bit of a different story. I kind of wanted to just focus on myself in high school. Like, the mentality I've always had is that I'd really rather be able to take care of myself before I get into some kind of relationship. Well, I'm kind of stretching that rule with this one here. So, take that as you will, I guess. But, yeah. That's why I was always more the relationship advice person when I was in high school, rather than trying to seek one myself. Because it's just like, I wasn't about that, but, I had several friends online approach me about stuff like that when I was in high school. Yep, nothing wrong with that, mate. Nothing wrong with that. Is it the healthiest strategy in the world? Fuck no, but it's not failed me once. Perfect logic. I sit myself down at my desk and get started. Shouldn't take too long, should it? Two hours later, I have no fucking idea what to write. I open my eyes slowly. I look back at my laptop screen, which is currently the only light in this room. Hey. I don't know where I was going with that. I've reached the word count already. Fuck it. I'll quickly render it and submit it on the online portal. At least it's done now. Whether it's good or not doesn't even bother me. It's just done. Yeah, I think we can all relate to that when it came to a paper that we did not give a single shit about writing, but we just had to do it because otherwise we would just get nothing for the assignment. I think we all had at least one paper like that we're just like, fuck, I do not give a single shit about this. I glanced down at the screen's digital clock. 7:02 p.m. Honestly, earlier than I was expecting. Internally cursing myself, I try to rush to get something down for tomorrow's poem. Got plenty of time, mate. What time does your school start? At 5 a.m.? But nothing comes to my head. I'll just spend my lunch break on the roof tomorrow. That way I should be able to get something down. Just as I'm getting changed for bed, my phone goes off. I don't even check who it is as I answer. Chances are it's Sayori. Even then, she normally doesn't call this late. Since when is 7:02 late, first of all? And two, can we get a fucking award for the most authentic ringtone in a mod of all time? Like, damn, that is one of the most authentic ringtones I've heard in a mod. So it's got that going for it, at least. Hello? Yeah, if you're really sure about having one, mate, then I think the best thing you can do is to just put yourself out there. You just kind of have to shake that stigma off in your head. I think it's okay to always have that dose of skepticism, but you can't let it stop you from just putting yourself out there, mate. I think that's the best advice I could give you. But as I always say, take what I say about this kind of stuff with a grain of salt. So, I mean, you know where I'm at. Hello? Hey, Ben. It's me. I'd recognize that voice anywhere. Ryuji? Dude, it's just gone 7. I know, I just got back in. Date with Kaho? You know it! According to Ryuji, he and Kaho had been together since mid-junior high. How they've stayed together this long is truly mind-boggling. Jeez, man, you two are gonna be married in no time. Bloody hope so. How about you? How have you been? Well, you know me, same old shit. Yeah, that's why I prefaced it by saying, if you're really serious about wanting one. I was able to get a massive weight off my chest, though. You finally asked Sayori out? No! Dude, she's like a sister to me. I feel my face redden profusely. I know, I'm only kidding. It's a moment of silence between us. That just isn't why you called me, though, is it? Nah, I was just wondering if you want to do some deathmatch real quick. I contemplate telling him I gotta get some sleep. Oh, excuse me. Just feels like there's something that shouldn't be on my tongue. One second. Alright, I'm back. And I just finished off the rest of my water for the night, so... I think after we get to the end of this night, I'm gonna go through the next day and then stop for the night. Doom or Quake? Quake. House of Chthon? There's a quad damage with your name on it. I've got to give respect. I gotta respect that at least. That truly is classic deathmatch right there. So, either one, they're retro gaming fans, or this takes place in the 90s. Either way, I'm on board. It isn't my alarm that wakes me up this morning, but instead my ringtone. Groggily, I pick up my phone. Sayori? She's not usually up this early. What's up? Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be in school. The way she sounds, it's clear that she's unwell. Let me guess, food poisoning? Mm-hmm. An undercooked chicken. For some silence, I speak up. You should get some rest, Sayori. I know. Also, promise me you'll never eat at Pearl City. I don't want you getting ill, too. Noted. For me, the place I've always been told to avoid, as far as, I guess, chain fast food restaurants, is White Castle. I've just been told that it's nothing special. And that it's not too dissimilar to Taco Bell, where the food there gives you the shits, if you know what I mean. Though I chuckle at how serious she sounded, I'll be subconsciously avoiding there. Never really heard any positive things about that place anyway. Once I force myself out of bed, I make my way to the bathroom to get a quick wash. I let the water run for a bit before stepping in. God, warm water feels nice in the morning. I bet it does. After a quick breakfast, excuse me, I make my way outside. Since I'm not with Sayori today, I decide to get my earphones to keep myself occupied. I just shuffle my playlist and start the lonely walk there. I can kinda see why Sayori always likes walking together. Doing it alone sucks. Oh well, at least I've got my music. A brother can relate. As long as you got your music, you're all set. At long last, the bell rings for lunch and I'm the first one out. However, I divert from my usual route and head to the roof. I told myself I'd write my poem up there, and I intend to keep my word. Once making sure I'm alone, I dash upstairs to the rooftop. As I'm heading up, I receive a text from Sayori basically saying she'd told the rest of the club about her absence. I'm at least thankful they won't have to ask me where she is. But still, maybe if she was here, she'd help me understand my feelings a bit better. Both about this poem as well as Monika. Ooh. Been a while since I've seen this iteration of the rooftop. I wince as the sun temporarily blinds me, but I recover quickly. I think, if I remember right, it's been since the demo, and if we're talking about other mods, I think since World of Dreams since I saw this iteration of the rooftop. It's always nice to see some fresh backgrounds. I make my way to a nearby bench. It's kind of funny, though. There's benches up here, and barely anyone ever comes up here aside from the janitors. Yeah, it makes you question why they have them then, huh? Oh. Are we on the same boat for what? The silence is serene. I plug my earphones in and let the music from this morning continue as I start to write. The song that starts playing softly into my eardrums gives me the inspiration I need as I gaze past the wire fence and past the Midway Sapporo skyline. Sapporo? Hope I'm pronouncing that right. Horizon. I mumble out loud to myself. First thing that comes to my mind when I hear the word horizon nowadays is Zero Dawn. That was a good game. But I'm kind of baffled why, after only 5 years, they're remaking it. It's not even fucking old. I wouldn't even consider it old yet. A shorter poem will do. I don't need too many words. Both the music and my heart guide my pen as I try to paint a picture of a feather drifting across the midsummer sky. Of a song playing across the airwaves. Oh, you mean what we were talking about with Moss? I think so. How old is your phone, mate? If you don't mind me asking. An almost empty plane flying over the coming horizon of the night. Of words only ever spoken on an empty, solitary rooftop. Monika. I faintly speak. My heart started to race. I put my poem in my bag as I finished it now. I popped my earphones out and placed my hand on my chest. I breathe in. I breathe out. After a few repetitions of this, I hear the door open. I look back only to retreat my eyes just as quickly. Of course, Monika, just up. Well, it's a good thing you just did those breathing exercises. Come on, let's do it. Really hope she doesn't. Ben? My brain really needs to stop doing that. I turn to face her. Oh, hey Monika. She gives me one of her signature smiles. Didn't think I'd see you up here. Touché. She starts walking over to me. I return her smile. Say the same to you. What are you doing here, anyway? Oh, I just needed some air. Monika seems to get a little nervous, as if there's more than she's letting on. Yeah, I know. It can get stuffy in there. How about you? She takes a seat next to me on the bench. Please don't show her this is kinda awkward for you. I'd say I needed the air and somewhere to think. Oh? To think about what? She seems curious. If I can be honest with Sari about my hidden feelings for Monika, then I could surely be honest about why I'm up here. I came up here because I needed somewhere quiet to write my poem. I was so exhausted last night. It's only after I say it out loud that I realize I'm admitting to the club president that I rushed my assignment. Rather than scolding me like my brain told me she would, instead she just smiles. You say that like I'd be mad at you. I couldn't do that. What? My eyes dart back and forth between Monika and the concrete floor. Then Monika gets a little bit closer, but not too close for comfort. I know that it's really stressful this time of year. Like with finals, so many assignments, just all of it. If you couldn't finish it, I'd perfectly understand. I go silent as I take in what Monika said. I'd forgotten how understanding she was sometimes. I unzip my bag, and after a bit of doubt, I pull out my poem. Ooh! Finally, we get to read one. Finally! Finally! Horizon. Alone. There I stand in the center of this concrete jungle. It's dark, and in spite of the glowing streetlights, I seem to be the only one around. Walking around aimlessly only gets me so far. But I soon spot a light, a beacon seeming so far, yet it glistens against its surroundings, burning bright. The closer I get, the sound of a voice greets my ears. A voice calls mine. The sound of a voice greets my ears. It calls my name. It's a voice I recognize. I slowly start to be blinded by the light. Straining my eyes shut, a hand takes a hold of mine, squeezing it tightly. It pulls me in, pulling me closer. I soon open my eyes, opening myself to both the future and to the face at the end of the horizon. That sounds about right. That sounds about right, Zach. But yeah, Yep, it's pretty clear what he wants with this. What he wants with this poem. Nobody is seeing your private photo, you bot. Get out of here. Yeah? Yeah, I like it. I like it, mate. I think it's pretty clear. I think it's pretty clear who the voice in the light is. It's a bit longer than I'd planned. At least it's still legible. Is it any good, though? With a worried sigh, I go to hand the poem to Monika. You can read it, if you'd like. Are you sure you don't want to wait until club? I shake my head. We can discuss it then. I stop myself short. Why is it so hard to ask Monika to read it outside of club? I just want you to read it. She timidly takes the poem and starts to read it over. Rather than watch for any visible reaction, I simply gaze out to the cityscape. Before long, this silent spell is broken by the bell. I like the sound that they chose for the bell. I look back at Monika, and our eyes meet up for a moment. She goes to hand me back my poem, but I gently push her hands back a bit. No. Just keep it until we share at club. She doesn't say anything to hint any uncertainty, and her eyes show a glimpse of understanding before we head back down to the depths of the school. Man. He was saying, what if people found out about them being alone in a classroom? Just imagine what would they would be saying if they found them both alone on a rooftop. Thankfully for me, and very likely the majority of the class, Mr. Honda was off sick today. Lucky you! If I had the foresight to know that would be the case, could have at least tidied the essay up a bit. Well, I can't rewrite the past now, can I? I make my way up to a nearby vending machine. A little thirsty, and since we got let out a little earlier than normal, still got a little time before club starts. I put my coins in, and a small can comes out soon after. As I'm reaching down for my drink, though, I can hear the echoed sounds of someone yelling. Wherever it is, they don't sound pissed off. Well, they kinda do. It sounds more defensive than anything. At the same time, Can't shake this weird feeling that this voice sounds familiar. I think I remember this part. I look to my left, and the reason for that familiar feeling comes walking quickly down the hall. Natsuki? Natsuki's eyes meet mine for a brief moment. All of a sudden, she averts her eyes, clenches them shut as she runs past me and audibly bolts upstairs. You're not okay, are you? Guys, I think we might want to follow her. Natsuki, wait! I rush after her. I can't help but wonder what happened to Natsuki that could have made her this upset. Shows Thor when there was a community post about who the strongest Avenger was. I mean, to be fair, he's a pretty good pick. I call out for her. Natsuki! Natsuki, where are you? After a minute or so, I see her emerge from the restroom and quicken my pace. Natsuki, give me some fucking space! Natsuki's voice came out as more of a squeak as tears form on her face. Awkward, weirdly heavy silence between us. He was the second most chosen? Yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds about right. He's pretty goddamn powerful. Let's not get that wrong here. But at the same time, I can't blame people for choosing Scarlet Witch. Her brash reaction did catch my by surprise, although could use some fixing up there. Me by surprise, although, in her defense, I wasn't going about this well in the slightest. Yeah, use a couple fixes there. Sorry. Natsuki, what for? I am having a bad day. I'm taking that out on you. I don't mean to. More silence. I'm the worst. That's a little much, isn't it? Not when it's true. But it's not. Natsuki, I expected more. Her glistening pink eyes tell multiple stories. The two ones I can make out the clearest are ones of guilt and of someone who just wants to be valued. Makes sense, Zach. Makes sense. The second one being a side I never would have expected. That is the case, at least. Hey, we all have bad days. Some of us more than others. Those bad days don't define you. God damn it! What else can you say? Besides, I know you didn't mean it. Why else would you be apologizing? Natsuki looks away for a moment, processing what I've said. If you need a moment, it's fine. I've been there before. She breathes slowly and calmly before locking her eyes back onto mine. I think I needed to hear that. So, thank you. She gives me a small but meaningful smile. It's nice seeing you pep up like that. No problem, really. The pair of us then walked the remainder of the way to the club room. Upon entering the club room, Natsuki makes her way over to the closet. Or sorry, makes her way over to closet. English! I decide to go up to Monika. Hey, Ben. Hey, Monika. Sorry we're late. I look behind me and see Natsuki's already reading her manga. Should I even tell her what happened? I look back to Monika and lower my voice. I bumped into Natsuki on my way up, and I guess we lost track of time. I feel bad about lying to her, but it wouldn't feel right if I told her exactly why we took as long as we did. Sometimes it just makes sense, bruh. I'm certain that Natsuki will tell her at some point. Aw, Ben, you don't need to apologize. Besides, neither of you missed much. I take a peek at the clock on the other side of the room. It's just shy of 5 minutes since the start of the meeting, so she does have a point. Also, I've read the poem you gave me at lunch. I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed. Thanks. How many times have you read it? Maybe once or twice. Maybe more than that. How she manages to be so cute without even trying astounds me to this day. She then takes my poem out of her bag and passes it to me. Before I can put it in my pocket, though, Monika delicately holds the lower edge of the paper, and I swear I feel her thumbs brush against mine for a split second. Hey, how's it going, Sarah? How are you doing tonight? I look forward to discussing it with you. Good to hear. Good to hear that you're having a good one. That you're having a good night. Very tense moment there. Yeah, thanks for dropping that on us. Zach, thanks for dropping that on us. She lets go of the paper and I slide it back into my pocket. We're still a ways off. We're still a ways off from that, if you're wondering, everyone. That's not until Act 2, and I don't even know how close we are to the end of Act 1. We end up just standing in front of each other for a little while longer. Awkward silence. We don't say anything, but just make the odd glance and smile at each other. Awkward silence. Well, it feels like something out of a tacky romance game. I can't help but admit that it feels nice. Sure, mate. Sure. What do you think, guys? Do we tell him? So I'm just gonna chat with Natsuki now. Okay. She speaks with a blush and a nervous giggle. Oh, come on. Just hug already. God damn it. To be completely honest to myself, my face is just as red as hers, if not more so. No, but whoever that is, I wish I was. That way I could get my point across to this dude. That, and I could think of some certain other useful applications for such an ability. Deadpool. Well, it's been a while since I've seen Deadpool. I'm sorry. I end up taking a seat close to Natsuki, trying as hard as I can to hide my face. Part of me knows that if Natsuki saw me like this, I'd never hear the end of it. I even have a sneaking suspicion that Yuri would ask questions. And then, as if life was out to prove me wrong, I hear a voice whisper to me. You're doing a piss poor job at hiding how red you are, you know. Yeah, thanks for that, Natsuki. I really needed that. I open my eyes and am greeted by Natsuki wearing a wide grin. What? What do you want about Natsuki? You know damn well what. How she's able to keep her voice this low whilst keeping the same assertive punch as normal is astounding. She cops the seat next to mine. There are tomatoes that wish they were as red as you right now. Like, I saw you two over there holding hands. I was kind of tempted to tell you to get a room. No. Try to keep my voice as low as hers as I look around the room. Yuri's eyes have not left the pages of her book. Luckily for me, Monika seems to be wearing earphones. Well, it sure looked like it. We were just talking. Can't let her know about Monika's little meeting on the roof. She's already got the wrong idea now. God only knows what she'd think we were doing up there. God. It sucks that I've run out of water, dude. You're saying that like I'd be jealous if you were. Meant it was kinda cute. Well, at least she... Wait, what did she just say? Did you just... I did, yeah. You don't need to go announcing it to the world. Sorry. It's a minute or two of awkward silence. Is it because of what Natsuki said? I'm not entirely sure. In hopes to brighten the mood, I glance over to the corner of the volume of manga in front of Natsuki. Parfait girls? If you want to judge, do it through the glass on that door. You say that like you'd throw me through it. You want a fucking bet made? Want to fuck around and find out? I'll pass. I think that's the best instance of humor in this mod so far. That's the kind of shit I love Natsuki for. It's just perfect. Nobody does banter like Natsuki does. We share a laugh at my avoided expense. Sounds about right. That sounds like your style, Zach. Okay, everyone. It's time to share poems. Monika eventually announces this to the room, giving us our cue. After fetching my poem from my pocket, I quickly make my way towards Monika. I'd already promised her that we'd discuss my poem when we had the chance. Hell, she's even looking forward to it! Hey, Ben! I smile and wave. Smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave. I'm sorry. I had to do it. It was there and I took it. Hey! You want to discuss my poem? Of course. I pass the sheet to her and she reads through it one final time. Eventually, she gently lays the paper on top of the desk. Seriously, your use of imagery here is even better than yesterday's. Are you sure you haven't written poetry before? Surely it's not that good of a poem! I'm sure, don't worry. Besides, do I look like the kind of guy that writes poetry in his spare time? Really? Wow. That last part seems to cause Monika to giggle a bit. Now that you mention it, do you? Nah. Besides, even if I did, it wouldn't be as good as yours. Oof. Oh, stop! You flatter me too much, you know. I mean... is it necessarily flattery? If it's true to some degree? It's nothing! Silence then falls over the pair of us. If you do watch it, you'll have to let me know what you think of it, because I haven't even seen the original. And I'll be honest with you, Hocus Pocus 2 is a film I have not heard too much about. So, any of the other ones of y'all watching this right now, or watching this in the future, have seen that film, you'll have to let me know what you think about it. Zach, are you really surprised at this point? The amount of films you've seen that I haven't, are you really surprised at this point? I don't think we've discussed the poem as much as we'd expected. Monika does try to say something about it to break the silence, but she stops herself each time. Awkward silence! It's almost like she's trying to either find the right way to say it, or she's trying to suppress her thoughts altogether. Could I read your poem now? Please do! She hands me her notebook and I start to read. Today's poem is nowhere near as abstract as yesterday's. The subject's emboldened clearly in the poem's title. You feel like you should rewatch it? Alright. The Lady Who Knows Everything. Ah, that one. I remember that one. The more I read into it, though, the more the themes of seeking the impossible start to stick out. Much like yesterday's work. Whereas her first poem was from the perspective of someone being held to those heightened standards, this one seems to be focused on finding that apparent legend, only for said person's expectations to be all for nothing. I know it's basically the same as yesterday's. I just wanted to explore it from another angle. Monika's voice breaks my concentration. I hand her back the notebook. Regardless if it's the same topic, it still came out nice. There's nothing inherently wrong with exploring familiar ground. I'd say the hardest part would be writing from the mindset of somebody else, but you did that nicely as well. Thanks. Her voice trails off, lacking the confidence she'd usually display. She doesn't seem bothered by my words, though. She seems to be thinking about it. I'd say that doing this has helped me explore myself a bit more. Does? For me, yeah. Put it this way. Imagine your mind as a long hallway with doors scattered around the place. Those doors represent your thoughts. There's many rooms to explore, but the doors all look the same. But once you have a peek inside, the rooms are limitless and you'll get lost in your thoughts. It's P-E-E-K. Just saying. Poetry for me helps to narrow in on those rooms and explore them a bit. Fucking hell, that got deep. It's a good metaphor, I'll say that. Damn, that was quite poetic. You never cease to amaze me. Did I seriously just say that? Uh-oh. Bro. Yup. Good going, dickhead. My words aren't lost on Monika as she goes a deep shade of crimson. Ah, yes, Reese's, the king of fucking candy. At least in my eyes. Reese's Cups are the fucking king of candy. Changed my mind. Same goes for you. Now it's my turn to blush. Again. We remain silent for another moment or two. The air is tense in a way that I can't fully describe. Just what is this feeling? Oh yes. That is peak fucking candy right there. Especially for a white chocolate lover such as thyself. For me, the close second is white chocolate cookies and cream Hershey bars. Fucking yes, dude. I'm literally melting right now just thinking about having one. Oh my god. Ugh. Okay. Sit up, man. Gotta finish this. Why is it quiet? No idea. The music just kind of died when he said you never cease to amaze me. I look down at the table and notice our hands are a bit closer than before. My eyes dart back up to meet Monika's own. The blush on her cheeks grows, but neither her smile nor the spark in those emerald green orbs falter. Excuse me. I blame the mac and cheese I had before stream tonight. That is... until... Monika? Could I share my poem with you now? Or are you... Yuri's soft eyes land on mine and Monika's hands, curiosity taking over her voice. Busy. Monika looks at Yuri and then follows her gaze down to the table. Grape minds think alike, eh? I guess not all the time based on that response. That's a fucking top 5 food for me, man. Just throw me a big fucking bowl of mac and cheese, and you win. You win. That's Like, I will just immediately shut up if you throw me a big fucking bowl of mac and cheese. Not a cheese guy, huh? Well, I guess that's another place where you differ. I'm a big fucking cheese guy. She quickly retracts her hand and looks away, her face completely red. Lost for words, I pick up my poem and make my way over to Natsuki. I feel awful. Why did I say that? Doubt this will be something either of us want to bring up. Premarital hand-holding? Yes, thank you, Natsuki, for the reminder. And in public, no less. For shame, Ben. For shame! The sound of Natsuki berating me causes my eyes to shoot open. Oh. Well, that's understandable then, mate. I understand where you're coming from. I don't know. I don't know. I just never get sick of it. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I just don't get sick of it. I always figured you were probably a perv, but not Monika. No, Natsuki. It's not like that. Don't worry. Your indecency is safe with me, lover boy. I hide my face against the table. I'm just imagining Squidward banging his head against the cash register right now. Yeah, can't go wrong with that. She's not helping at all. I know she's joking, but still. I raise my head with a cocky smile and a lowered voice. Best be, else I'll tell Monika about your little hentai collection. I don't have a hentai collection! Don't worry, your indecency is safe with me! Natsuki looks about ready to choke slam me. I'd say so. It'd be funny if she wasn't fully capable of doing so. Let's just get this over with. Despite Natsuki's jokes, sharing with her went pretty well. Sharing with Yuri went okay as well. She seemed a bit awkward and fidgety, more so than usual. Probably because of what went down earlier. But, I mean, hey, shit happens. Then again, she still probably had Monika and me and Monika on her mind. Probably just a bit of curiosity. Eventually, Monika calls us out to the front. Myself, Natsuki, and Yuri make our way there. Natsuki is the first to speak up. Is this about the festival? It is, yeah! Do we have to do anything for the festival? I'm still curious as to what we're going to be doing. Oh, about that. Monika then turns her attention to me. Ben, there's one of the posters that Yuri helped me with the other day on the front desk. Do you mind showing it to Natsuki and Yuri? I nod and quickly retrieve the poster, which proudly advertises a poetry performance. Sounds like a fairly normal activity for a club such as this. I'm just curious how Natsuki and Yuri will react to this. I show the rest of the group the poster, and their expressions and tones change drastically. The one constant between the two of them is that they seem appalled at the idea displayed on the poster. Performing? No way! I'm not doing that! Do you think it's that bad of an idea? Yuri doesn't seem to have any response, and at least for a minute or two, neither does Natsuki. I don't know if I fully agree with you on that yet, but yeah. They definitely get her emotional tone right. I will say that. She gives Monika a stern, fiery look. Do you seriously think that any of us even want any new members? Like, I can't speak for Yuri or Ben, but this club brought me something. Something that I won't let you take from me. If I wanted anything else, I would have just joined any other stupid club. Natsuki doesn't say anything else as she holds her eyes shut. To say I'm shocked at what Natsuki said would be putting it lightly. As I look over at Monika and Yuri, I conclude that the feeling is mutual. The four of us enter in uncomforting silence. The air conditioner seems a little bit louder today. I go to break the silence. Well, personally, I think that... No, Ben. Natsuki's right. Her voice slightly breaks as she says that, looking at me with an incredibly crushed look in her eyes. It's a sharp contrast to the confidence Monika always wore in spite of anything. Yeah, and that pose does not bode well. This time feels different, though. Almost as if Natsuki's words hit a little too close to home. She then focuses her eyes back onto mine. Why did I think this was a good idea? After saying this, Monika walks and slumps down at the front desk, puts her hands against her head as she starts to stare blankly at the table. Though she's silent, she's trembling ever so slightly. The rest of us fall victim to the silence from earlier. Hey! Good deal, mate. Now you've done it, Natsuki. Yuri directs her disappointment in both her eyes and tone right at Natsuki. Oh no, here we go. Me? All I did was speak my mind! Is that a problem? It's not about being honest. It's about word choice. Natsuki goes to fight back, but relents after a quick glance over at Monika. I know that look on her face. It's the one I grew quite familiar with. She's blaming herself. But before I can say anything, Natsuki's already gotten her bag and stormed out of the classroom. Remembering our earlier conversation, I decide to follow after her. Natsuki, wait! Why, Ben? You saw the look on Monika's face. I caused that. Natsuki once again gives me that same look of guilt. I try to open my mouth, but nothing comes out. If you can't tell by how much I'm coughing, yeah, my throat's starting to hurt a little bit. Honestly, if this keeps up, I might take tomorrow off. Even though I normally always try to stream on Wednesdays, because Wednesday's always a pretty chill day for me at work, but God. If this keeps up, I might just take tomorrow night off. Yo, let's go! Oh my god, I need water. More silence follows before Nat speaks up again. I'm gonna go home. I just don't feel like I belong here right now. And with that, Natsuki turns and starts going to leave. As much as I want her to come back, I'm not gonna force her to do so. No, forcing her wouldn't do anything for you right now, mate. Trying to force her wouldn't lead to anything good, so just let it go. Just go be there for Monika. Just be there and comfort her, man. She needs somebody to be her rock right now. That's the least you can do. Chances are she'll be back tomorrow. After running my hands through my hair, I head back into the club room. Yeah, unfortunately, all the water bottles I have are just a little too big for my sinks, mate. That and our fridge has a water filter on it. And a little fountain you can put your bottles and drinks and drink glasses and shit under. Once I'm back in, I notice that Monika still hasn't moved from the front desk. Yuri, however, is pacing around the room, almost like she's pondering her next decision. Excuse me. As I shut the door behind me, Yuri's gaze locks onto me as I walk toward the center of the room. This way, Yuri stands on my left, whilst Monika stays on my right. This is bad. I look back at Monika. Her breathing is a little louder than usual. Sobbing? No, it could just be that the bowls in our sinks are just tiny. I don't know. She appears stressed out. Something that, before now, I doubt I've ever associated with Monika. No, it's just that, before now, she's done a much better job of hiding it. I sigh, not making eye contact with Yuri. I know. I then hear gentle footsteps making their way towards me, causing me to look back. She looks right into my eyes, the mind hidden beyond those deep lavender eyes, presumably working like clockwork as she tries to find the words to say. I do have to ask, though, then. What made you want to join this club? The emphasis on the word you makes a personal question all the more personal. I think for a bit. To be completely honest, I hadn't really decided why I joined the club beyond the atmosphere being quite relaxed. The more I think about it, the more I realize that might just be a perfectly justifiable reason for wanting to join. A nice, quiet environment to cool off, relax, maybe do a bit of reading? I'm certain most people would want that. With a sigh, I relay my thoughts back to Yuri, who just simply listens attentively. She's got a natural talent for that, I swear. Well, two can play at that. I think I feel the same way. She smiles with a thoughtful spark in her eyes. It's a spark that I don't usually see unless she's reading. I get why Natsuki's hesitant about new members, though. Like, who knows what getting new members would do for the atmosphere of the club? Yuri ponders this for a moment. Like a quality over quantity sort of thing? Yeah, sorta. I've only been part of the club for a couple of days, and I can tell everyone brings something special to it. I'm not opposed to getting anyone new, it's just complicated. I nod as Yuri completes my sentence. I think I understand.
I usually prefer more relaxed environments that I can share with a friend or two. It might become a bit harder to manage with more members. Not to mention, more people tends to lead to more conflict, which I'd be less than appreciative of.
Yeah, I think a lot of us can say the same, Zach. You and I both. Yuri's eyes then focus in on me, piercing through my retinas. She's blushing faintly.
Besides, I just enjoy how the club is now.
Another brief moment of silence follows. However, this time there's this wired tinge of awkwardness to it all. I think you mixed up some letters there. The silence is then broken by the sound of a chair moving against the wooden floor.
Ben, Yuri...
Mine and Yuri's shared gaze focuses on Monika, who wipes her eyes before continuing. I knew it.
I know I'm asking a lot with the festival, and if you're not up for it, I understand. But regardless, just know that I'm really glad to call you my friends.
She caps that off with an almost traditional Monika smile. Trademark that. Almost, simply because there was this unshakable somber aura to it. More than likely a sort of aftershock to what happened. Yuri and I look at each other as if we're telepathically deliberating.
Monika, Ben and I held a discussion about it, and whilst we're both a bit hesitant about a new member, I am still up for helping with the festival.
Same here. That smile on Monika's face tells me all I need to know. Yeah, thanks for dating the episode, mate.
Thank you both. I'm gonna finish things up a little earlier today. We'll sort out the festival tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, Suri wasn't even here. Might as well just wait for her. Wait, Sanzi uploaded a cursed Monika meme as a project for school? Dude, that takes me back to the kind of shit I did for projects in high school. What a fucking legend. And with that, Monika goes back to the front desk, whilst Yuri and I start to pack up. After Yuri leaves for the day, I linger around in the club a bit. The room would be silent if not for the clock and the audible sound of Monika writing. I think for a bit about whether I should ask Monika if she wants to walk back home together. I can't explain why, but Monika's initial reaction to Natsuki's words reminded me of the day Suri told me about her depression. Just this expression of hopelessness. I walk up to the desk she's at and kneel down to her level. Hey, Monika?
Yeah?
She looks up to meet my gaze. Her eyes seem a little drained. I was just wondering. Come on, bitch, keep it together! Would you like to walk home together? She smiles weakly.
I'd love to. But...
Her voice trails off as her gaze fixates on the small stack of papers beside her. School stuff? She nods, seeming quite down. I think a bit more. Tomorrow maybe? She looks back at me, her smile returning once more.
If I'm free, then absolutely.
Took Tylenol PM and you're just waiting for it to kick in? Well, I'm probably gonna be... I'm gonna be signing off at the end of this in-game day here. because my throat's starting to hurt and I'm out of water. So, like I said, if it is still feeling like this tomorrow night, I might just take the night off, because I've been... God, how many days have I gone live in a row? And I kind of feel bad now that some more people are starting to show up. I genuinely do feel bad about it. Yeah, 4 in a row. It might just be starting to take a bit of a toll on my voice. Again. Like, it's nowhere near as bad as, like, how it's been at my worst. But it's honestly starting to feel a bit better than it was 10 minutes ago. Not sure why. Maybe it's just that it's starting to numb. I have no idea. Honestly.
If I'm free, then absolutely.
I smile back. That definitely seemed to cheer her up a little. I start to move towards the door, and once Monika and I bid farewell to each other, I head off back home. The walk back home was a quiet one, mostly dominated by my thoughts about the club meeting. Maybe if Sayori was there, things might have gone differently. Seems like she's got a natural talent for easing people's stress. That being said, I can't help but feel bad for Monika. Again, I know Natsuki didn't mean what she said, but regardless of that, it definitely hurt her. Maybe I should have stayed a bit longer. Think out loud to myself as I unlock my door. Once inside, I rest my bag against the wall and head to kitchen. I'm a little hungry, so I quickly make myself a chicken sandwich and grab a loose can of Pepsi to help wash it down. Whilst eating, I contemplate whether to text Sayori about the incident at the club. I know Monika will more than likely fill her in, since she's her vice president after all. Nah, fuck it, I'll text her. I whip my phone out and get on it. Hey, Sayo, Monika tell you about what happened today? It isn't load until my phone pings in response. Yeah, she told me. Also, Natsuki apologized. That helps ease my mind a little bit. If you want to send me a clip, sure. I then text her again. That's a relief. Sarah and I ended up exchanging texts for much longer than I thought we would. All the while, my mind goes back to Monika. Can't explain why, but I'm wondering how she's doing. I contemplate asking Sayori if she has her number, but that a bit weird to ask, right? Missing a word there, buddy. I mean, yeah, Sayori knows and seems very hopeful that something may happen, but it's a whole other can of worms asking for her number. Part of me kind of likes to humor the thought, though. Monika's bedroom. 3 hours later. And it appears Zach sent me a clip. So I'll play that at the end. Why do I still feel bad about lying to him? It's not even that I had that much to do, so it wouldn't have hurt that much to walk with him. But hey, at least I've got something to look forward to tomorrow. Toss and turn on my sheets, able to shake off these feelings. Suppressed them for so long that I thought they weren't there anymore. Why am I trying to hide it? Curl up and grab one of my pillows and cling to it. As my breathing steadies, he pops into my head once again, causing my grip on the pillow to tighten. When he's not here, he manages to comfort me,
Maybe that schoolgirl crush of mine never truly died.
Well, that sounds like as good a place as any to leave things for next time. Damn, bro. Quite a revelation, I must say, at the end there. Anyway, I'm tune down the music here and pull up my Discord window here. Because we got some shit to see. Zach wants me to see Sansi fucking dying during a voiceover, so... I think... Which mod was this? Here, I'm gonna open it on YouTube real quick to get the name of the mod. The most recent one. I don't know what that means. The Dokis go boating. Okay. So this was his buddy Diverse who made it. Diverse Doki Stories. Okay. Okay. That's good. That's good to know. Okay. Anyway, play. Sansi fucking dies. Here we go.
What the? Are you okay?
I can't go entirely high pitched. Fuck. Okay.
What the? Are you okay?
I can't go entirely high pitched. Fuck.
One more time.
Okay.
What?
Yeah, that sounds like me if I try to do too high pitched of a voice. I just can't do it, mate. I just can't do it. Good shit, mate. Good shit. Anyways, yeah. That is going to be it for our opening episode of the full release of Doki Doki Within. We've got quite the revelation to come back to next time. And I'll admit, I really like the more grounded story that they've got going on here. And I like the pacing so far. It's just that there are other aspects of the mod that I feel like they could still do with a little more time in the oven. So yeah, there's some stuff to like, there's some stuff that's got room for improvement, is my assessment so far. But what I'm most curious to see is everything that goes on after the demo. After we reach the end of where... After we reach the point where the demo ended. That is what I'm most curious to see. But until then, we still gotta get there. So... Yep, I know you called out the point it was at. We'll get there, mate. We'll get there. Probably gonna be, like, part 3, I want to say? By the time we get to new stuff, if I had to just throw my guess out there. Throw my 2 cents out there. But yeah, hopefully we'll get caught back up to where we were at the end of the demo last time. In the next session. So with that in mind, thank you guys for watching. And, till next time, take care.